na mama wetu Phyllis Migwi kutoka Microsoft, tumpigie makofi, na Salim Egos from Mastermind. Let us celebrate him as well, and Aida Diara from Visa. These great people, tuwapigie makofi tena, wako hapa. These great people have joined us. Please, you can take your seats. These great people have joined us because Kenya is a country of great opportunity, especially in the tech space. And we deliberately chose that this Jamhuri is going to be about innovation and is going to be about technology. And we did so deliberately for various reasons, which I will elaborate. First, when we went round, the people of Kenya told us that they want technology to drive our economy. And that is why we have decided that we are going to have a 100,000-kilometer superhighway that is going to be built to enable internet access our homes, our cities, our towns, and every part of the Republic of Kenya, because that is how we are going to be delivering government services going into the future. Let me also announce that this is a technology and innovation Jamhuri, because we intend to transfer 85% of the remaining government services to the digital space, so that every Kenyan, wherever they are, they do not have to get into any bus to go to get government services or queue in any line to access government services. It will now be possible in 6 months, when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services, it will be possible for Kenyans to access government services from their comfort of their homes and their workplace using the internet, because government services will be available on that platform. Let me also say that we intend to deliver our subsidy program on fertilizer, on e-voucher, that is going to be available to 1.3 million farmers. And I want to encourage our farming community to register themselves, because going forward, our fertilizer subsidy program is going to be dispensed on the internet, on e-voucher, so that we can eliminate brokers and eliminate cartels and ensure that targeted farmers have access to fertilizer. We have also had a conversation of our lifetime, and we have a target of 1 million jobs from our technology space. We've had a candid conversation with our technology and digital space leaders that Kenya, going into the future, we're going to have 1 million jobs, and that is why it is necessary and it is important that all of us understand the importance of technology and the place of innovation going into the future. Let me also say, as we deliver our universal health coverage, our tech community is going to be the space for e-health, and therefore our universal health coverage is going to be provided on a digital backbone and ensure that all health records are made portable, courtesy of technology. It is the intention of our administration going into the future. And let me say that if there was any doubt in anybody's mind about the power of technology, just look at what has happened to the Hustler Fund. In a record 12 days, today, the Hustler Fund has 15.4 million subscribers. In just 12 days, the Hustler Fund has lent 7.54 billion Kenya shillings to approximately to the 7.4 to the 15 million Kenyans that are on that space. And let me also say that the secretariat, that is what the things have come around because of what you have seen on the Hustler Fund. Number one, it has provided a platform for millions of Kenyans who have been looking for an opportunity to save. And number two, the Kenyans borrowing on this platform, they have not been derailed by the rhetoric of those who are against the Hustler Fund. Let me say for the record and ask fellow leaders, my good friends, you are borrowing your mortgage at 3%. You have the capacity to borrow from your bank at 14%. Why do you want to derail the hustlers who today are suffering from shylocks and from predatory lenders, and they are being charged 360%? And you're telling them not to pay money given to them at 8% so that they can go back and pay at 360%. Be humane, be kind. Please allow the people borrowing on the Hustler Fund to also enjoy low interest rates the way you and your families are enjoying. Do not derail those Kenyans who have suffered for long from now accessing money on a digital platform that is of interest, that is reasonable. And as we enter the 6th decade of our independence, we can proudly cite many achievements and impressive progress made through our own consistent efforts as evidence that our freedom struggle was neither an empty political adventure nor reactionary born of idle resentment. We gather as a nation to commune with our forefathers who were long-suffering innocent victims of imperial plunder and colonial oppression, yet also heroic defenders of our inalienable sovereignty and valiant fighters of our freedom. On Jamhuri Day, we celebrate the moment when Kenya proclaimed itself a free democratic republic. It is also a time to reflect deeply on the founding aspirations of our nation. And I want to say, while I move along with you, that in the early moments of this administration, we engaged to ensure that the challenges that millions of Kenyans told us in this campaign, we began the journey to address those challenges. One of the biggest and notorious challenge is the challenge of high cost of living. And it is imperative that we have a clear plan. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, this high cost of living, we are tackling it in 3 phases. Number one, our first agenda when we came into office is to ensure that we encourage farmers to access affordable fertilizer. And that is why we reduced fertilizer from 7,000 shillings to 3,500 so that we can enable our farmers to be able to enhance their productivity in our journey towards making food affordable in our republic. Our second agenda, and I have said this, is that we are going to import 10 million bags of different assorted types of food, including maize, so that we can close the gap temporarily because of the harvest that was limited in these years agricultural season occasioned by climate change and failure of rain. And thirdly, we are now in the process of working with the private sector to ensure that we import 300,000 metric tons of fertilizer for the planting season that is going to come from January going into April. Already, 2 million bags have arrived in the country and 4 million bags are on the way. And I want to assure our farmers that we are going to stand with them to make sure that government provides adequate seed and adequate subsidized fertilizer to make sure that our productivity is enhanced so that we can produce enough food and reduce the challenges of the high cost of living in our republic. The second item that we must tackle is the issue of ensuring that we create enough jobs for the millions of young people in our nation. Apart from what we are doing with the tech community, our housing plan, which we have rolled out in earnest, already we have launched the construction of 40,000 units of houses in the last 3 months. And in the remaining months of this year, we are going to launch the construction of 160,000 additional houses across the Republic in our quest to ensure that we have 200,000 houses built around the country, both social and affordable houses, so that the people of Kenya can not only have access to jobs, we can grow our enterprises, and we can ensure that the 6.5 million Kenyans who today live in informal settlements have become home owners. I want to request and ask all county governments. We already have 15 county governments that are working with us on this plan. I want to ask all the remaining county governments to come on board so that we can move together in the journey to ensuring that we create jobs, we build our enterprises, and Kenyans have access to affordable housing. Let me also say, on the matter of ensuring that we have adequate food, our fourth item is to ensure that we transit from rain-fed agriculture to agriculture under irrigation. And that is why we are building 100 new mega dams around the country under our new program of private-public partnerships that will be anchored on water purchase agreements that will be underwritten by the government of Kenya so that we can work with the private sector to produce enough irrigation facilities and also to ensure that we supply and harvest enough water for us to power the engines of our irrigation and transit from the 670,000 land under irrigation to 3 million in the coming years, so that we can also produce enough food using irrigation. Let me also say that under our value addition, agro-processing and manufacturing sector, our triple program and intervention that will bring on board the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone, all the other economic zones, including the Naivasha Industrial City and our city in Athi River. We will ensure that going into the future, our industrialization agenda that has been going down, which has gone from 9% to 7%, we have agreed with our private sector that we will re-engineer that space using the products we have, from coffee to tea to avocado to leather to cotton. And we have agreed that industrialization is going to contribute from our 7% at the moment. We want to move it to 20% of our GDP by 2030, because that is the way we are going to add value to our products, we are going to create jobs, and we are also going to create wealth. Let me also say that, mindful of this solemn obligation to do right, while laying the foundation of a flourishing nation for future generations, I have pursued several interventions since I took office nearly 3 months ago with the urgency, zeal, and focus that the moment demands. Since the murder, there is now contribute to the Inspector General for the enthusiasm with which they have embraced the changes and enhanced our general security through increased vigilance and improved relationship with citizens and their communities. Before the end of the year, I will be appointing a task force to review the terms of service of our Kenya Police Service. It is instructive to note that the people of Kenya talk to us about predatory lending. And I engaged, when I came into office, 3 fintech institutions on the way forward in making mobile loans more affordable. As a result, there was a drastic reduction in the interest charged on the police service, signaling a new era of affordable credit for borrowers. I also engaged lenders on the need to liberate more than 4 million borrowers from the prejudice arising from being blacklisted under the Credit Reference Bureau framework, which arbitrarily paralyzes their business prospects. We have secured an agreement with the lenders to abandon this punitive approach and shift to a credit scoring system which incorporates incentives for both lender and borrower. Let me also say that under our program on managing climate change, we will ensure that we build our 15 billion tree cover to be planted around the country. We will build it from the bottom up. The Ministry of Interior has the instructions to start with the 45,000 people at the bottom of the provincial administration pyramid, the Nyumba Kumi leaders, 45,000 of them, coming to the 9,000 assistant chiefs and 4,000 chiefs, to ensure that we build from the bottom going up our tree planting exercise to ensure that we reach the 15 billion trees planted across the country. And I want to thank the governor of Nairobi. We are going to be working with the county government of Nairobi in the greening of our city. And we have agreed with the governor that beginning January, we are going to hire 11,000 young people to create the army that will green our city, those that were working under the old program of Kazi Mtaani. I want to ask other governors in other parts of Kenya to join us in this exercise of tree planting, because it is an exercise of our moment to manage the effect of climate change. As you all are aware, we also appointed a working party to look into our education system. I want to say the preliminary report from the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform has been brought to the government, and we have agreed that our junior secondary schools will now be domiciled in our primary schools to ensure that we save parents the huge costs that would go with taking their children to schools far away from their homes. And I have also instructed the Teacher Service Commission to commence the hiring of the largest cohort of teachers in independent Kenya. We are going to suffer without identity in our region. Under various regional and continental frameworks, and with the support of the international partners, we are deploying our position as a regional anchor state for the benefit of our neighbors and our region. My predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, working under the aegis of the African Union, is engaged in mediation efforts to restore peace and stability in Ethiopia's Tigray region and under the EAC initiative to restore normalcy in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Our interests, ladies and gentlemen, are nested in a dense network of reciprocal diplomacy, which helps our agenda to attract investment, forge partnerships, and create markets for our exports and employment for our young people locally and overseas. In the last 3 months, we have aggressively sustained our pursuit of mutual beneficial endeavor with friends and partners all over the world. We have engaged productively with EAC member states, the governments of South Africa, United States, United Kingdom, Spain, Qatar, Germany, and South Korea to scale up bilateral ties and to explore avenues for collaboration in the multilateral space. We have forged agreements on mobilizing investments and financing in a wide variety of sectors, and we will continue to engage the international community as we implement our plan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to innovate our way into the future. It is for this reason that with this Jamhuri, we as a nation are staking our claim by rallying Kenyans to begin the work of designing a world much richer, much safer, and freer than the one we have known. Innovation is frequently associated with technology, and we must avoid the pitfalls of viewing technology and innovation as a preoccupation with things at the expense of people. The most consequential breakthroughs in technological innovation have greatly enhanced human well-being. Among the Innovation Week's champions are the winners of 2022 Holt Prize, Eco Banner, from St. Paul's University, who employed the concept of green and circular economy to produce biodegradable sanitary pads from banana fiber. I have asked the Ministry of Education, in recognition of their innovation, to work with these young innovators on the delivery of our commitment to provide sanitary pads for schools in Kenya. The Kenya Innovation Week attracted large global technology firms whose senior leaders made their way to Kenya to witness firsthand the magnitude of the innovation potential of our Silicon Savannah. We have agreed on partnerships to support local organizations in providing opportunities to young people to acquire training and skills on various aspects of digital productivity. We are also exploring ways of making the benefits of monetization of online activity available to Kenyan content creators on more platforms. I have spoken directly to Meta, the parent company of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, to monetize content for our digital entrepreneurs that will exponentially multiply their incomes and create employment opportunities for others. I am impressed and encouraged by the power of monetization and remote jobs. This is the way to the future. And I was asking myself, if I was not a state officer, I wonder what the content of my small Facebook page with 2.3 million followers would earn for me daily. My administration that can employ millions of our youth and help grow our economy. This is why we have moved with speed to get our football back to protect Kenya's proud athletes' pedigree from doping and to streamline collection and distribution of royalties from our artists. Through the revolutionary Talanta Hela plan, we will rebuild and monetize our sports and creative industry. As part of this plan, I will champion a grassroots football development program that will see national government work with county governments to invest heavily in youth football. Arrangements are at an first stage to launch a bottom-up football tournament to be contested by under-19 teams from all 47 counties. We will work with our county governors for each county to build a team right from the ward level. This is the first step in our football vision 30, where we will target our Harambee Stars to play at the 2030 World Cup and Kenya to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. Together, let us build Kenyan football from the grassroots of our villages to the grand stage of the World Cup. I suggest to the ministry that the finals of these inter-county teams should be held on Jamhuri Day every year so that we can celebrate the teams from across Kenya. We are ready to take our place as the digital workforce of the world. Our commitments under the digital superhighway component of our plan were engineering Google Hustler Academy, who underwent an intensive and interactive training program, are ready to begin their journey in a world of work and opportunity that is now familiar territory. I now request all these graduates present today to rise. Hawa ndio wangwana wako hapo. And let me say the following to them. Fortune rewards the bold. I congratulate the young people who followed their curiosity and passion to explore new ideas and possibilities and are now at the threshold of a new chapter in their lives and careers. I can say that through this disruptive graduation, you have now been granted the power to create, to connect, to innovate, and to inspire. I wish you success and God's blessings. Congratulations. You can now take your seats. Asanteni sana. We also congratulate 29-year-old Nelly Cheboy, the founder of TechLead Africa, who this morning was declared the CNN Hero of the Year for her work in creating computer labs for Kenyan children to access opportunities in the digital world. Congratulations, Nelly, for connecting and inspiring thousands of Kenyan children. As promised, everyone present in this stadium today will get a free scholarship on global entrepreneurship and innovation from the Thunderbird School of Global Management at Arizona State University. It is now time to keep that promise. There is a QR code near you. Mumeipata? Scan and access the scholarship now. A 16-unit course that would have costed you 100,000 is now accessible to you for free, courtesy of the Innovation Jamhuri. I also appreciate the firms and organizations which have stepped forward to support our vision to make Kenya the hotbed of innovation. We will continue to do our part and make such partnerships bigger in future, and you are always welcome to be part of Kenya's journey to greatness. As part of this endeavor, KONSA has started the distribution of 23,000 virtual desktops to Tibets to enable students exploit remote job opportunities across Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, we are committed to support young people in re-establishing this country as the republic of ideas and the home of innovation. Through a dedicated startup fund, government will support the most innovative ideas each year to scale up into viable enterprises and commercial brands that will provide employment and drive our economic growth. The government of Kenya will work with our academia to establish the Kenya Open University within the next 1 year. I urge our scholars and intellectuals to play their part in democratizing education and open the way for anyone and everyone to quench their thirst of knowledge, education, and training. In line with the new focus of our national celebrations, Embu County will host the 2023 Madaraka Day celebrations under the theme Universal Healthcare. In conclusion, it is our time to make a contribution that will define Kenya for posterity as the envy of nations and the country that we, our children, and their children will be proud to call home. We also have a task of preparing the nation for its future by equipping and empowering our youth to take sana kwa kunisikiza
na baada ya wimbo wa taifa nitaomba wote walioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi kutulia ili tuweze kutangaza itifaki ya kuondoka. Nitaomba sote tulioko kwenye jukwaa rasmi tuwe watulivu. Niombe sasa kumuomba kwa heshima Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto kuweza kuondoka, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi Jenerali Robert Kibochi, na kisha baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, Naibu wa Rais ataondoka. Wale wengine mkubali kuwa watulivu ili tuweze kwenda kwa itifaki inayofaa. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na Amiri Jeshi Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, pamoja na Mama Taifa Bi Rachel Ruto, wakisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, ndatoa nafasi hiyo kwake Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka. Na baada ya Mheshimiwa Rais kuondoka, vile vile Naibu wa Rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na Mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi vile vile watapata nafasi ya kuondoka. Anaondoka sasa Mheshimiwa Rais. Asanti sana kwa kutuongoza kwa sherehe ya leo, makala ya 59 sherehe ya Jamhuri. Baada ya Naibu wa Rais kuondoka, Spika wa Bunge la Kitaifa na Bunge la Seneti pamoja na Jaji Mkuu watafuata. Nafasi hii Mheshimiwa Rais akisindikishwa na Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi anachukua nafasi yake kuondoka. Thank you, Your Excellency. Msafara wa Mheshimiwa Rais unaondoka, nikiomba msafara wa naibu wa rais kuwa karibu ili tuweze kumpa nafasi Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua na mchungaji Dorcas Rigathi nao waweze kuondoka. Vile vile watafuatwa na
ni wega muno makiria na oguo niguo maundu meiga thiini wa kiharo kia Nyayo Stadium guku mambura-ini ma 59 ma Jamhuri. Andu mambite gukorwo magikiamukira ukunguri na njira itiganite, kurumbuyo na njira itiganite, mambura ma mwanya ma gukorwo makirongoreria uhoro wigie technology na uthunduri wa maundu matiganite. Tuona athaki mithako magitengera kuma ikiro itiganite, abunge, andu aria makirigwete thiini wa nenda cia ukinyaniria, ona na atongoria angi matiganite, ona hamwe na kurumbuyo ni maabitha biraru kuma ikiro itiganite. Gathoni wa Njihia ikiro ni kiinikirira kana mambura ni mainikirira muthenya umuthi, na President Ruto ni agweta mwema maundu ma bata maria arongorire na akiuga ati bururi kwa ihinda riri akurura mukururo, auga bururi uri mwekerekeine mwega, na akigweta auga atiriri ati wa mbere dalili cia kunene ati bururi urorete thiini wa mwerekera mwega ni kigina kia Hustler Fund. Acoka atarire auga ati mutaratara wa uhandi wa miti, agweta horongi auga uhoro wigi urimi. Hihi ni uhoro riku wewe wa kuhutia na njira nene thiini wa mambura ma umuthi?
Na karithi kiria president kanema ni igakiraniro giake kia uria araugite ati mambura maya ma muthenya wa umuthi megukorwo na muoroto wa kuria a Kenya mahimbirie uthunduri na njira ya kuhuthira mitambo ya ukinyaniria, na ni atariria mamwe ma maundu maria thirikari igucenjia nigetha itongorie kuma haria mbere, nigetha ikira a Kenya makorwo makiyukia miekeo ikorwo ni itongoretie. President ni ari ohoro wa wigie fataraitha no thirikari heanaga ya thogora wa thi. Fataraitha no heanagirwo kuria thiini wa makumbi ma NCPB maria mairio nyumu, na president ni era arimi meyandikithie tondu mundu arithiaga kuria na vota nigetha ukaheo fataraitha ya thogora wa thi. Nauga ino no njira imwe egukorwo akihuthira nigetha kweheria turia nime turia tukoragwo haha gatagataini, tondu twanaigua kaingi thirikari ikiuga ni rekereirie tani cigana ona cia fataraitha ya thogora wa thi, no a Kenya kana murimi uria weka uria thi agakorwo ndarakinyirwo ni motungata macio. Undu ungi president auga ugukorwo thirikari igukorwo ikikira mitambo ya kiriu ni uhoro wigie UHC kana mubango wa urigitani kuri a Kenya othe. Nauga kiria thirikari igukorwo ikenda kana ministry ya ugima wa mwiri kiria yagirirwo gwika kumania na riu guthie na mbere ni ati rekondi cia arwaru cirikoragwo cikeigwo nenda-ini kana irikoragwo ikeigwo mitambo-ini, tondu kaingi karithi ni kaingi mundu ungithie thibitari woneke wina murimu fulani no ugatumwo thibitari ingi o haria wambiriirie kurorwo ukambiririo hau, no kungikorwo hihi kwina ati rekondi ciaku ni ciigwo mitambo-ini, mutambo urikoragwo ati ungithie thibitari wi haha Gatundu no coke uthie thibitari wi kundu ta Mombatha, ndagitari ucio ni ekuhota kurora hihi urakinyiirio ho kana mubango waku wa kuheo motungata urakinyiirio ha. Na koguo president ni atariria ati thiini wa maundu maya mothe kana kiria maratanya gukinyaniria meta thirikari ni gukorwo magithondeka mieke ya mawira milioni imwe kugerera nenda kana kugerera mitambo ya ukinyaniria, kugerera maundu matiganite maria kana mawira matiganite maria makoragwo makihuthira mitambo ya ukinyaniria. No ho karithi president ni auga ni araraniria na andu meigweta muno kana kambuni cigweta kana ciegwate kana cietagwate
kambuni iria
ciuikaine uhoro wigie ukinyaniria. Kambuni kana mitambo ta Facebook ririkana guku bururi-ini andu aria makoragwo makihuthira mitambo ya Facebook gwika maundu matiganite gutire kanyamu monaga ta uria andu aria makoragwo makihuthira YouTube monaga, na ni auga ni araraniria na anene a kambuni icio magithondeka hihi thenema kana maundu matiganite gukenia andu nenda-ini na makaga gukorwo hatire kindu maragunika nakio kumanagia na riu president ni auga kuri na miario kuri na gacira maturite na ni kuguo ni ta kuga guthie na mbere andu acio mahota gukorwo makigunika.
Gathoni thengia gukorwo ati mitambo kana utungata muingi wa tabarira cia thirikari kana maundu megie thirikari gicunji kia 85 ma gukorwo magikinyanio thiini wa nenda cia ukinyaniria. O president ni ahutiriria ndereti ya bata muno kwa ihinda riri amakirio na bururi-ini uragomeirwo ni ng'aragu na ni uhoro wigie guthuka kwa rera. Ndereti ni amikindira na njira nene na uga ati itana ria bururi wa Kenya ria kuhanda miti milioni bilioni 15 nĩ rĩanjĩrĩirie na agĩikĩrĩtana rĩu na kũrĩ thirikari cia kaunti auga atĩ nĩ mĩhang'o ĩgũkorwo ĩgĩteithĩrĩrio nĩ ona atongoria a ũgitĩri wa matũra arĩa a nyumba 10,045 makorwo magĩteithĩrĩria thĩinĩ wa ũhandi wa mĩtĩ na auga maabitha ona a borithi ona maabitha a thirikari magĩkorwo marĩ thĩinĩ wa kũnyita itemi nĩ kũririkana thĩinĩ wa gĩikaro kĩmwe president nĩ regete kũruta ndũmĩrĩri marĩ thĩinĩ wa gĩikaro na minister kũrĩa thingiri-inĩ wa iregi na akiuga atĩ kuma rĩu gũthiĩ na mbere mũtongoria wothe wa thirikari arĩkoragwo arĩ na mũcemanio wa mũingĩ arĩ president arĩ mũnini wake arĩ atongoria anene thirikari-inĩ nĩ magũkorwo marĩ na target ya ũhandi wa mĩtĩ ya gatagatĩ ka mĩtĩ 200 nginyagia 500 o event kana o thĩinĩ wa itĩna o rĩrĩa makorwo magĩthiĩ president ningĩ nĩ ahutĩrĩirie ũhoro wĩgiĩ bata wa gũtigĩrĩra atĩ akenya nĩ makorwo makĩona nyũmba njega cia gũikarwo auga atĩ kwa ihinda rĩu nyũmba itanyihire 45 irĩkĩtie gũthondekwo na auga kwa ihinda rĩa mĩeri ĩrĩ yũkĩte nyũmba itanyihire 160 ingĩ nĩ igũkorwo ciakĩtwo na auga atĩ mũrigo ũrĩa akenya makoretwo naguo mũrigo wa gũkorwo makĩoya hihi ngombo cia gũthondeka cia gũkorwo magĩaka nyũmba nĩ gũkorwo wahũtha tondũ aingĩ ao nĩ magũkorwo na kamweke ga gũkorwo magĩthara gũkorwo marĩ na ũikaro mwega na koguo ona ũhoro wĩgiĩ kũrĩha manyũmba nĩ gũkorwo ũmehereire mũno makĩria na ndaigua ningĩ nĩ ahutie ũhoro wa bata mũno ũhoro wĩgiĩ technology auga andũ aya makoretwo magĩetha mbeca kana makoretwo makĩendia kĩrĩa tuga na gĩthũngũ content kana wega wao kana maũndũ marĩa meka thĩinĩ wa nenda cia ũkinyanĩria nĩ magwetherwo mũtaratara wa atĩ matigũkorwo makĩhinyĩrĩrio nĩ kambuni iria ciĩ mabũrũri-inĩ mangĩ ona gũkũ bũrũri-inĩ nĩ atĩ mũndũ thigino ĩrĩa mũndũ akorwo nayo thĩinĩ wa gwĩka kĩrĩa ekaga kana kĩrĩa kĩmũkenagia na kũgucĩrĩria andũ aingĩ agũkorwo akĩona kĩo gĩa thithino yake wa mũico gathoni ndacoka aigua nĩ ahutĩrĩirie ũhoro wĩgiĩ ũrĩmi gĩcigo gitũ ciucitũ cia Mount Kenya kana Gĩkũyũ-inĩ bataraitha maimetereire mũno gũkorwo makĩrĩma na auga tani itanyihire 300 igũkorwo igĩkinya gũkũ bũrũri-inĩ na nĩ cianjĩtie gũgĩkinya kũndũ gũtiganĩte na maya mothe nĩ mũtaratara-inĩ wa gũtigĩrĩra atĩ bũrũri ndũnagomerwo nĩ ng'aragu rĩngĩ kana bũrũri ndũnakorwo ũrĩ na ũthũkangu wa rĩera na kana gũkorwo andũ magĩkaya kuga atĩ nĩ maga kĩndũ gĩa kũrĩa ona kana gĩa kũnyua gathoni
na ũhoro-inĩ o ũcio wĩgiĩ ũrĩmi Karĩithi president nĩ atarĩria mũbango wa thirikari yake wa gũkorwo magĩaka demu 100 na toguo watarĩria gĩcigo gitũ kĩa Mount Kenya nĩ gĩcigo gĩkoragwo na njĩra nene nĩ gĩkoragwo gĩkĩrĩgĩrĩra mbura nĩ ũndũ wa ũrĩmi na nĩkĩo kĩrĩgĩrĩirwo nĩ bũrũri nĩ ũndũ wa kũhũnia bũrũri na koguo hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mbura ya kĩmera yacererwo ũkona andũ aingĩ nĩ maya gũkaya ona gĩcigo kĩu kĩngĩaga kũhũta mũno gĩtikũhota kũruta wĩra wakĩo wa kũhũnia icigo ici ingĩ tondũ mũndũ kĩrĩa kĩnini arĩ nakĩo ekwĩigĩra gĩa kũrĩa we na famĩlĩ yake na koguo president atarĩria ũhoro wa mũbango wa gwakwo kwa demu 100 nĩgetha gũtigĩrĩra atĩ arĩmi matirĩkoragwo magĩeterera mbura nĩgetha marĩme kũrĩ na arĩmi mangĩhota kũrĩma nginya imera 4 harĩ mwaka no makaremwo nĩ ũndũ wa gũkorwo makĩrĩgĩrĩra mbura ya kĩmera kũrĩ kũndũ ta na kũrĩa kaunti ya Laikipia kwa kawaida gũkoragwo gwĩ kũmũ no nĩ wĩiguaga arĩmi a kũu makiuga mangĩkorwo makĩona maĩ atĩ kũrĩ na maĩ hakuhĩ kũndũ ta kũu gũtingĩgakorwo na ndoto ta iria tuonete kwa mĩeri ta 2 kana 3 a Kenya makĩhoya irio kana a Kenya makĩara rũhĩ na nĩ a Kenya nginyagia a icigo iria cikoragwo ciũĩkaine nĩ icigo cia ũrĩmi na koguo mwĩroreri wa Inooro TV macio no mamwe ma maũndũ marĩa mahanĩka gũkũ thĩinĩ wa kĩharo gĩkĩ kĩa Nyayo Stadium tũgĩkũrehera na njĩra ya ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe mambura maya ma Jamhuri na kwa ihinda rĩrĩ tũkwamba tũtirihĩre hau no ndũgathiĩ kũraya tondũ mangĩ na maingĩ marĩa twakorwo tũkĩmatha gũkũ tũgũkũrehera thĩinĩ wa mohoro maitũ ma themwe na thaa 3 cia hwaĩ-inĩ Karĩithi ndio kana he kaũndũ kangĩ ũngĩenda kuongerera
ndakorwo ndaririkana gathoni wanjĩhia na toguo president akorwo akĩarĩra maũndũ ngũrani marĩa thirikari yake ĩtanyĩte gwaka president nĩ akorwo akĩhutĩrĩria ũhoro wĩgiĩ gĩtũmi kĩa gũkorwo kamĩtĩ ĩrĩa ombire ya gũkorwo ĩgĩthuthuria mũtaratara mwerũ wa CBC kana mũtaratara mwerũ wa gĩthomo auga atĩ gũkorwo atĩ junior secondary domicile nĩ ũgũteithĩrĩria kana mũtaratara ũcio wa ciana gũkorwo igĩthomera thĩinĩ wa cukuru cia primary nĩ ũgũteithĩrĩria kana nĩ ũkwehereria aciari mũrigo gũkorwo magĩtransfer ciana ciao kuma kũndũ gũtiganĩte naho president athingĩrĩria auga atĩrĩrĩ atĩ nĩgetha muone thirikari ĩno ĩrĩ na icoka auga atĩ thirikari nĩ kwandĩka arutani 35,000 arĩa magũkorwo makinyagio kũndũ gũtiganĩte nĩ ũkũririkana nĩ merĩ ona kana commission ya kwandika arutani nä rä gä te kwarä na må taratara wa arutwo arä a makwandä a primary a junior secondary ona kana arutani arä a makoragwo thä-inä wa ma university makorwo ona marä na mweke wa gå korwo magä katä wa gå korwo makinyite itemi thä-inä wa maå ndå megiä å rutani na koguo gatagatä ka maå ndå maingä ningä arä ra president nä ahutä rä horo wä giä å gitä ri kå gacärithia å gitä ri gå tarä ria atä kä hoto kä a må ndå na kå nina agä kundi kä rä a hihi gä koragwo gä kä rä kana nä kä ranyamaria andå na njä ra ä mwe kana ä rä a ä ngä na kuga atä nä akå mba kamä ä rä a ä gå tigä rä ra atä nä yathårima mä gendere ya borithi gå kinyagia må thia-inä wa mwaka å yå nä ngwenda twarie na amwe a arä a magå kä rä two makinyä te itemi thä-inä wa mambura ma å må thä labda tå korwo tå kä aranä nawe tå tarä rie rä twa rä yaku na å må thä waigua atä hihi å rä a å gå kä te å tanyä te gå thikä rä ria ndå mä rä ri ya president nä gwakinyanä ra
nä gwakinyanä ra må thenya wa må thä nä mwega må no tondå president nä ndaigua aria maå ndå mega må no especially å horo wa gwaka harä må thingi å rä a wambä rä irio nä the founding fathers na pati ä rä a njega biå ndaigua nä å horo wa digital innovation tondå bå rå ri wä na 59 years tå tingä tå ra twä kaga maå ndå o å rä a twekaga tene koguo horo cio wa gå tå twara thä-inä wa the digital space na explore nä getha twake economy tũcoke twake maå ndå ma å rä mi na maå ndå ma gä thomo nä ahutä rä ria maå ndå mothe na niä ndoka njiganä ire må no na ndaigua njiganä ire må no nä maå ndå marä aria
ndakorwo guo ndrona wä rika rä a baba na nä wä ikangä tie tå mä aka kidogo hihi we nä gå korwo wä tacokia ikinyo nayo kå ingä ra thä-inä wa teknoloji no nawe korwo kä gunä kana wega å yå
niä ngoragwo thä-inä wa teknoloji ä yo na ndabocirwo nä covid rä rä a covid yokire makanitha makehingwo gwä ka tå tingä thiä makanitha-inä na twä na responsibility ya gå kinyä ria andå horo å yå mwega twatonyire thä-inä wa mä cemanio ya zoom tå gä tonya tå kä ambä rä ria kå hunjä ria andå through zoom na gå kinyia ndå mä rä ri itå ona maå ndå ma mbeca tå gä make sure thä-inä wa kanitha-inä nä twahotithia andå kå heana mbeca online na rä u ona maå ta maya hasora fund uguo maroka andå aitå arä a mena kå rä a makanitha-inä mena å hoti wa gå thiä na mbere na kå hå thä ra digital space nä getha mathiä na mbere gå teithä koguo ithuä twä kuo må no na nä kä o twakena må no makä ria
ona må hothi tå wige online
må hothi tå tware online thä-inä wa mpesa numbers na nä guo twä kaga twambä rä irie gwä ka å guo hä ndä ya covid koguo nä ndaigua twathiä wega må no
na koguo å guo nä guo maå ndå magä ikaire nä waigua arä a othe magä kä rä re maå ndå matiganä te megiä igongona rä a å må thä na koguo wa gweterera nä kuona mawä ra maya mirioni imwe ma teknoloji kana å thundå ri magä kinyanä rio nä kuona arä mi makigunä kana fertilizer ä yo marakä rwo nä kuona arigitani makä andä kwo nä kuona ona bå rå ri å kä aga ng'aragu na mä mä tanyihä ire birioni imwe gå korwo ä kä handwo gå kinyagia itanya rä rä a bå rå ri å rä nagio gå kinyagia rä mambura maracio mangä magakorwo magä kinyanä ra na koguo kuona atä hema nä ciarä kie kwambå thä-inä wa gä ikaro gä kä gå tirä na å ndå å ngä tiga o gweterera tå kwandandå rä re mohoro maya na mangä maingä na njä ra ndikä ru thä-inä wa mohoro maitå ma thaa ĩmwe na thaa ithatũ tũrĩ gũkũ na Gathoni wa Njihoro hamwe na andĩki aitũ othe a mohoro arĩa marĩ kũndũ gũtiganĩte ahũri aitũ a mbica othe tũkamacokeria ngatho na arĩa matinde maharĩirie mohoro thĩinĩ wa studio citũ tũkamacokeria ngatho cia mwanya tũcemanie thĩinĩ wa mohoro nĩ twakena mũno nĩ kũnyitanĩra hamwe na ithuĩ njĩtagwo Julius Kareithi wa Mũnene nĩ twĩrĩgane.
Thank you muno Julius Kareithi wa Mũnene hamwe na Gathoni wa Njihia mwĩ kũu kĩharo-inĩ kia Nyayo nä må koretwo mwä maitho maitå kuma o rũcinĩ rĩrĩa ruo rũtemire na mwakiumĩrĩria heho ya rũcinĩ mũhatĩkano wa kũingĩra kĩharo-inĩ kĩu na gũkinyĩria rĩu nĩ mwagĩkorwo mũgĩtũthathaũrĩra ũrĩa riboti ciathiĩ na mbere gũtemanio kana ndũmĩrĩri cia atongoria kuma gavana wa kaunti ya Nairobi gũka mũnini wa president o hamwe na kinyagia president ndũmĩrĩri-inĩ yake kũrĩ bũrũri nĩ ngatho mũno na nĩ tũgũgĩthiĩ na mbere gũkĩharĩria riboti icio o ũguo mwatarĩria nĩgetha tũcimemerekie mathaa-inĩ macio mangĩ ma mohoro ma matemo na kũrĩa Inoro hwaĩ-inĩ na Inoro thaa na rĩu tũkwamba tũrike mohoro-inĩ nĩgetha tũmenye maũndũ marĩa mathiĩ na mbere kũrĩa kĩharo-inĩ kĩa Nyayo Stadium kũrĩa gavana wa kaunti ya Nairobi Johnson Sakaja nĩ aririkanĩte Akenya arĩa merutĩire kũhũranĩra wĩyathi wa bũrũri akiuga andũ ethĩ marabatara kuoya mũhano wa wĩrutĩri ũcio nĩguo gũtwarithia bũrũri na mbere kuma ikĩro-inĩ cia bamĩrĩ gũthiĩ kinyagia matũũra-inĩ kinyagia gĩkĩro-inĩ kĩa bũrũri. Ũtongoria-inĩ wa Nairobi Sakaja eranĩire gũthiĩ na mbere na gũkinyanĩria mawatho ma gũteithia mũingĩ hamwe na kũgacĩrithia marĩa matũrigicĩirie.
greatest asset is not below the ground. Our greatest asset is above the ground. It is our young people. Your Excellency, the investment that you're putting into the digital superhighway with young people of Singore, in Elgeyo, in less than 100 days, you've launched the Hustler Fund. That should enable our people and all of those of us in government to know that we should not preoccupy ourselves just with those with millions of shillings in their accounts, but those with millions of ideas in their minds. That is the country that you lead and that we represent today. Your Excellency, as we complete the work and as we continue the work that was started by those who've been there before us, we must ensure that we live true to their dream of a country self-governed and not a country that goes into disorder and anarchy. And I want to thank you and the national government for supporting the Nairobi County government in restoring order in Nairobi. Your Excellency, today our children can sleep peacefully without endless noise from discos and nightclubs. It cannot be that young people cannot sleep because old people are throwing themselves downstairs. We must restore sanity, we must restore order, and that is the dream of those who are there before us. Your Excellency, we shall continue in that work, and we shall make sure that we create more economic opportunities even for those who are employed there by zoning and establishing the right areas for each of us to ply our trade. Your Excellency, also, we are working hand in hand with the national government in restoring order when it comes to our environment. We are glad that we've gazetted the Nairobi Rivers Commission that will go a long way in restoring our rivers, not just Nairobi River, but also Mathare River and Ngong River, and making that an economic frontier for a clean city, a city of order, a city of dignity, a city of hope, and a city of opportunities. Your Excellency, in addition to that, we are working hand in hand with the Kenya Forest Services to begin a tree planting program throughout the county of Nairobi.
Ya Nairobi Johnson Sakaja akiaria Mambura.
Schoolflix Data Pass is back. Now you can watch all your favorite films for free with 100 MB of data from Safaricom. To get Schoolflix Data Pass, simply tap Data Pass in the app and select Schoolflix. Schoolflix Data Pass, 100 MB to watch your favorite film on View Sasa.
Kabuni ya Roiro Mabati Factory nemo yathondeki njũru a mabati ma kũgita nyũmba. Tũthondekaga mabati mĩthemba mĩingĩ na ma gĩkĩro kĩa igũrũ marĩa matũraga ihinda iraihu na magathakaria mũgitĩre wa nyũmba yaku makĩria. Mabati maya metagwo Box Profile, Europe Tile, Jenga Tile, Corrugated S Profile na mangĩ maingĩ na mokaga na marangi maingĩ ngũrani. Mabati maitũ nĩ metiragia mbura nene na riũa rĩhiũ na koguo makagĩrĩra nyũmba cia biacara na cia gũikarwo. Nĩguo gwetia oda yaku, tucerere showroom-inĩ itũ mwena wa Roiro Town na no tucerere rũrenda-inĩ rwitũ nĩruo www.roiromabati.co.ke kana ũkenerere ũtungata wa kũreherwo mabati maku harĩa ũrĩ gwa kahinda ka mathaa 72 tu. Roiro Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
Your NCBA Visa card is your ticket to winning great prizes. Your NCBA Visa card is your ticket to watch a game live at the FIFA World Cup. Get in the game and win an all-expenses-paid trip for two to watch 2 games at the FIFA World Cup, along with smart TVs, soundbars, and other awesome prizes, courtesy of Visa. Swipe your NCBA Visa card to pay bills or buy goods worth 2,000 shillings or more and stand a chance to win. Visa, official FIFA partner. NCBA. Go for it.
Waedu. Uri otorona na Nairobi migunda no kugaya nwera gayanu. Netuthie kundu ni guku.
Karibuni na gugikinya atere riria thiguku yakuhereirie ri tukiruta ofa ngurani haria weka booking turakuhe murime murianire na andu aku tondu thutha wa kwendia Juja phase 1 2 nginyagia phase 36 riu guku turi ni phase 37 kwena zitima perimeter fence ni ibanake etereire muriganie na guocogora ri ni gutinangia nginyagia 795,000 only.
Tucerererwo iro kana tuhurire thimu namba 0708 000 999. Top Care ni mucio waku mwehokeku wa uhithia.
Niliacha nimu akitusumbua akipata 30% max. Nani amefunza mtoto mdogo kuibia mpaka anapata 90?
Hatuko mahali ulituacha kama sikio. Tulishagundua siri. Ni tamu.
Kwani unga imepika hiyo ugali imewekwa nini? Imagine imenichangamsha mwili mpaka akili.
Unga wa Bingwa Premium ndio siri.
Dad, tangu tuanze kupika unga wa Bingwa Premium, mimi na bro tumekuwa mabingwa kwa njia zote. Bingwa ni tamu, siri ya mabingwa.
Bingwa Premium Maize Meal kutoka Grade Millers Limited, watengenezaji wa unga wa mahindi wa Wema na Bingwa ngano. Bingwa Premium Maize Meal, siri ya mabingwa wote.
Tukunyita ugeni o ringi ni undu na tugagucokeria ngatho ni undu wa gwitikira kunyitanira na ithuĩ tugithie na mbere na guthathaura ndumiriri cia tongoria hindi ya mambura ma Jamhuri kuria kiharo-ini kia Nyayo na no tugucoka tugutware kinyagia kaunti-ini kuria mambura maya kana marathie na mbere na kuhanika na kungi ni marikite ni tugukorwo tugigutwara kaunti-ini itiganite tukumenyithie uria nakuo kou kuhana. Riu tugithathaura ndumiriri ya munini wa president Rigathi Gachagua augite bururi wa Kenya ni ukinyukitie makinya manene ukuria-ini wa technology maria umuthi marateithia andu ethi gukinyira mieke ya guthukuma na guthoma. Gachagua augite thirikari ya Kenya kwanza iri na mwihoko wa kwagirithia riera ria wonjoria na uthundu guku akirira president William Ruto unyitaniri wake hari gutungatira bururi na gukinyaniria ciraniro cia thirikari.
We have come a long way. Kenya is ready for a great takeoff under the Kenya Kwanza plan under your leadership. Although we are facing several challenges, we'll offer you all the support to deliver to the people of Kenya as promised. If anything, we must live as envisioned by our forefathers and freedom fighters who remain great and dear to us every day. They shed their blood for us into the future, but ahead of us is great work. Mr. President, every year we have marked this day with new hope and great aspirations as a people. This year, under your leadership, we take a greater leap, not just into our history, but into the future, especially on the singular aspect of technology and innovation. As a departure from the past, where tech economy was a mirage, poverty, illiteracy, and disease was our common denominator. These three enemies made majority of Kenyans slip into a life of great indignity. Your Excellency, today, Kenya has made a considerable progress in the tech race. We celebrate our young people who have continued to make us proud in this space. We encourage them to move with greater speed and dominate not only regionally but also globally, just as we have done in athletics. This is a great tool towards human liberation. Mr. President, this cause is indomitable. This is a path to an equal Kenya, where every child goes to school, every Kenyan has food on the table, where every Kenyan has access to quality and universal health care, where every Kenyan has clean and safe drinking water. We are leaving no one behind in this race. Your Excellency, this is the leadership our nation requires in the 21st century. as we move closer to realizing Kenya's Vision 2030. We are also set to reap our demographic dividend since the window of opportunity opens in the year 2039, if we are well prepared. I have no doubt in my mind that we are on the right move as a nation.
Nake President William Ruto eranĩire atĩ motungata ma thirikari marĩa mataraheanwo kũgerera nenda cia ũkinyanĩria nĩ mekũrorwo nĩguo mũbango ũcio ũkinyanĩre ihinda-inĩ rĩa mĩeri 6 yũkĩte, hamwe na maũndũ mangĩ marĩa thirikari ĩrabanga kũhingia nĩguo gũteithia Akenya. President Ruto nĩ eranĩire kũhũthĩra andũ ethĩ njĩra cia gũkinyĩra mĩeke ya mawĩra nenda-inĩ cia ũkinyanĩria na gũteithia andũ ethĩ gũkinyĩra ngombo iteretia marĩhi ma igũrũ ma njoherera.
It will now be possible in 6 months, when we finish the digitization of 5,000 government services, it will be possible for Kenyans to access government services from their comfort of their homes and the workplace using the internet, because government services will be available on that platform. Let me also say that we intend to deliver our subsidy program on fertilizer, on e-voucher, that is going to be available to 1.3 million farmers. And I want to encourage our farming community to register themselves, because going forward, our fertilizer subsidy program is going to be dispensed on the internet, on e-voucher, so that we can eliminate brokers and eliminate cartels and ensure that targeted farmers have access to Kenya. Our tech community is going to be the space for e-health, and therefore our universal health coverage is going to be provided on a digital backbone and ensure that all health records are made portable, courtesy of technology, because that is the intention of our administration going into the future. And let me say that if there was any doubt in anybody's mind about the power of technology, just look at what has happened to the Hustler Fund. In a record 12 days, today, the Hustler Fund has 15.4 million subscribers. In just 12 days, the Hustler Fund has lent 7.54 billion Kenya shillings to approximately to the 15 million Kenyans that are on that space. And let me also say that the Hustler Fund has accumulated savings of close to 400 million shillings in just 12 days, well on track to 1 billion shillings in the next few days. It confirms the power of technology. Without committees, without secretariat, that is what the Hustler Fund has achieved.
This December, drama.
Have you told them about your marriage?
I'm gonna send my flying kiss to you.
Romance.
I love you so much.
Comedy.
Look at this one.
Music and so much more.
Mwana biashara ndajoinire mkopo credit ya platinum Hindi ya corona ndarĩ thĩ makihe mkopo wa credit ngĩambĩrĩria biashara na nikio nginyĩte haha nikio ndaiga nĩ thengio nĩ tondũ nĩ theremete.
Platinum Credit rĩu twĩ kũndũ guothe Kenya. Reke tũgũteithie gũkũria biashara yaku rĩngĩ. Tũkũheaga loan na thĩ wa mathaa 24. Twarĩrio mũthĩ kũhĩtũkĩra 0709 900 000 kana ũhihinye *619#. Goko kwa Alpha Mabati, we customer wito we wa bata muno na nikio tuguthondekagira mabati ma kugita nyumba yaku magikiro kia iguru. Editwo ria muhigirire wira-ini wao makwendagiria kiria kiagirire ni undu wa kiria urenda kugita kuringana na mithemba itungurani ya mabati iria tukoragwo nayo. Wicagurire kuma mithemba ya marangi matiganite na muigana wa ibati riria urenda niguo honokie mbeca ukigita. Nitwe ati mahinda ni mbeca na nikio tugukinyagiria kiria urenda oro hari uri guothe bururi-ini na mathaa 22 tutegũkũrĩhia. Tukoragwo Northern Bypass hakuhĩ na KU Referral Hospital na rĩu twĩna rũhonge rwerũ Nyeri Town kũng'ethanĩra na Toyota Kenya. Alpha Mabati, the roofing industry bearing us.
Hĩndĩ ĩno ya Christmas nĩ kanya kega magagutuga endwa aku.
Atĩa rĩu?
Gũtirĩ gutuga kwega ũkĩrĩte kĩheo kĩa broti farĩrĩre wega nĩ Optiven ta The Great Oasis Gardens Nanyuki, Hekima Gardens Nyeri, Garden of Joy of Koma Kangudo Road, Abundance Gardens Konza. Hari o ciringi 145 iria urarĩha hata deposit kana installment nĩ tũragũcokeria 2500 cashback kĩhinda-inĩ gĩkĩ gĩa Christmas. Tũhũrĩre thimũ kũhĩtũkĩra 0790 300 300.
Ndi muikari wa Gatundu itura ria Kagumo-ini no riu thaa ici ndi mwena wa Tana River Gariseni tondu nikuo hunjagia. Kambuni ino ya Maridadi Motel ni kuigua ndaiguire magitangatha na kuma twanyitana nao ndina mĩaka 3. Mubango wa kwonjorithia na Maridadi Motel ni undeithĩtie mũtũrĩre-inĩ wakwa wa kĩroho na kĩmwĩrĩ ona mathĩna-inĩ makwa ma mĩciĩ na gĩthomo mwakĩre-inĩ nĩ nyonete faida nene mũno.
Araniria na Maridadi Motors kugerera 0798000111 kana oroka ofisini rocio haria Ridgeways Kiambu Road kung'ethera Total Petrol Station.
Wewe ni Maridadi.
Nituri itawa ria Bruda twana twakwa tutithinikaga ni undu wa heho akorwo ni uhoro wa kuruga indo ciothe tuhuthagira biogas.
Mibango yakwa ndirathie wega mahiraria ma riu mubango witu wothe ni uthukanite.
Enjoy 25% extra airtime or data every time you top up or buy a bundle via Airtel Money. Dial *334# to activate Airtel Money. Make Chaguo smarter on voice, data, and now on Airtel Money. Airtel, the most affordable network.
Thengio muno nĩ gwĩtĩkĩra kũnyitanĩra na ithuĩ. Ũguo nĩguo kũhana gũkinyĩria rĩu na hau nĩho tũgwĩkĩrĩra gaturumo mohoro maitũ ma Inoro mĩaraho. Muthenya ũrĩa wĩ wa mambura ma Jamhuri rĩu kuma haha andũ rĩu nĩ manjia gũikĩria nĩ ũndũ wa kwĩharĩrĩria na thigũkũ rĩu cia Christmas na New Year kana mwaka mwerũ. No ũririkane atĩ mambura maya no marathiĩ na mbere kaunti-inĩ itiganĩte na rĩu tũgĩũka na mohoro maitũ ma Inoro hwainĩ na Inoro thaa 3 tũgũkorwo tũgĩgũtarĩria mambura maya ũrĩa mathiĩ na mbere kũrĩa kĩharo-inĩ kĩa Nyayo. Tũcoke tũgũtware kaunti-inĩ ciothe cia bũrũri tũkũmenyithie ũrĩa nakuo kũu ũkũngũĩri ũyũ wa Jamhuri wa tabanio. Ũguo nĩguo kũhana. Niĩ njĩtagwo Harun Njoroge wa Maina ngũcokeria ngatho nĩ ũndũ wa gwĩtĩkĩra kũnyitanĩra na ithuĩ na o rĩngĩ ngwendithĩrie mũthenya mwega wa Jamhuri.
ukiwa na Safaricom. Chagua bei yako ya kupiga simu au data. Piga *444# au utembelee My Safaricom app upate deal poa ya kupiga simu, uongee zaidi au ubrowse zaidi.
Pungua. Nini inaendelea hapa? Wewe funje mlango wapi?
Ni